All right, so the bonus fragrances are from the folks behind Palm Angels, and they have a brand called Reservation Fragrances, all inspired by travel and hospitality, and are all created by Yann Vasnier of Gévaudan. So there's several fragrances here, all going into different directions, and I'm curious to get my nose on these. Although I feel like they premiered during Exxons, I did not know where they were. I didn't see them. Sadly, I didn't, unfortunately. I don't know if they were in the show or was it outside. I don't know, but let me know if you guys have heard about this. Let me know if you know Palm Angels, and if you've got your nose on these fragrances from the folks behind Palm Angels called Reservation Fragrances. And again, all of them are created by Yann Vasnier of Gévaudan. I kind of like this guy's fragrances. He's done some Tom Ford fragrances and various other brands, and it's interesting that they picked one perfumer to create all of the fragrances for one line, from the launch of one line, which to me, I find that to be better than going from one to the other, because one perfumer will have a DNA and there will be a cohesive DNA running across all the fragrances. But sometimes when they're all different perfumers from different firms, like if you use somebody from Gévaudan, somebody from IFF, somebody from Maniche, and even go to the smaller firms, there won't be a lot of DNA. There might be, but not smelling identical. Here, they've used one perfumer to create all of the fragrances. So most likely these fragrances are going to have a DNA running across them. And even though it's one perfumer from one house, which means he might use similar ingredients for all the fragrances and so on. So the first fragrance is called Late Night. Again, created by Yann Vasnier. This features notes of sandalwood, cardamom, saffron, tobacco, patchouli, vetiver, milk, and spices. I like the idea of milk and fragrances. Recently, I smelled fragrance from the new house of Bertrand de Chafour, his fragrances, called L'Anthropiste. There's an incense with milk. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved that fragrance. And let's see how it's used in Late Night. By the way, I didn't mention the bottles. I feel like the bottles are a bit simplistic and not a lot of thought went into the bottles. The caps seem nice for these fragrances, but the bottles seem extremely simplistic. What do you guys think of the bottles for these fragrances? Let me know. Add a comment below. The next one is called Riviera Californienne. So California's Riviera, kind of, is that what it translates to? I don't really, that's what I'm getting, I'm going to say. But it's featuring notes of Tonka or Tonka beans, Amberwood, coffee, Immortelle, sea notes, citruses, Elemi, and salt. This one I would use caution with, but it kind of has ambery notes and woods and gourmand notes in addition to the sea notes and the salt. So let's see how it's done. I'm slowly opening up to a lot of marine notes. As long as they're not using an overdose of seaweed or cologne or something, I think it'll be fine. This next one's called Sweet 909. Again, these are all hotel, travel, hospitality inspired fragrances. I like this concept. What do you guys think? I travel a lot and I'm staying in hotels a lot, so kind of for me it makes sense, but might not make sense for you. But this one, Sweet 909, features notes of Akigalawood. There's the infamous Akigalawood from Gévaudan. A lot of Gévaudan perfumers use this note, like Quintambiche, but it's Akigalawood, pink and black pepper, Georgywood, another proprietary Gévaudan note, juniper berries, lemons, and cedar. This one seems a bit boring and simplistic, although I do really enjoy Akigalawood. We'll see how it is. Seems like a spicy, woody fragrance. But the next one's called Jasmine Haze. Is jasmine becoming a trendy note? Recently we had Jasmine Freak from Room 1015. Here we have Jasmine Haze, and this one features notes of tobacco, honeysuckle, bergamot, jasmine sambac, patchouli, and musk. I like the idea of combining jasmine with tobacco. Amouage's portrayal woman is so good. It's jasmine and tobacco with, I believe, amber in the notes as well. I love that fragrance, even though it's feminine targeted. I feel like a man can totally pull that off. The combo of the tobacco and the jasmine is top notch. So this one sounds great to me as well. The next one's called BLEU Piscine. BLEU Piscine is obviously is a swimming pool, I believe is what piscine is. So blue swimming pool, lavender, juniper berries, green mandarin, geranium, rosemary, thyme, lime, vetiver, cypress. This one sounds a bit more like a fougere. No sea notes or like marine or aquatic notes in this one. All lots of aromatics. I like the name, and I like the sound of the fragrance, so let's see how this is. But the next one's called Chambre Secrète, like a secret room. Is that what it translates to? Again, I'm not the best in French, but I kind of know some words. So this is spices, cigarette, incense, labdanum, vanilla, Akigalawood, frankincense, and citruses. I love the idea of this one. I like it when they add cigarette rather than tobacco, because we know tobacco is in cigarettes, but cigarette could mean like the ash and all that kind of stuff as well. So I like this one. This one sounds great. It's a secret room where you would go smoking. I don't know, maybe something like that. The next one's called Feu de Rose. Obviously with the word rose in the name, it's a rosy fragrance. Leather, rose, cloves, styrax, sandalwood, cedar, labdanum, and nutmeg. So it's a spicy ambery rose. There's a ton out there. I kind of am not the biggest fan of this genre. There's ones that I like and there's a lot I don't like. So let's see how this turns out. Styrax is a love it or hate it note. I like it in little quantities, but this one does have spices and ambery touches. And that's pretty much it. Those are all the fragrances launched by Reservation Fragrances, the folks behind Palm Angels. What do you guys think of these? Do they sound great to you? What are your thoughts on any of the fragrances, and which one sounds the best to you? I know there's a ton of new brands launching all the time, and I think we'll see it continue until there's something major and dramatic happens where people will have to resort to stopping. But I would expect more brands to launch, not with just one fragrance, but like 5+ fragrances. It's a bit too much and overwhelming, I think, when a brand launches with that many fragrances at once. But these people seem like they have a lot of money behind them, so they will launch as many as they can, so they can, dominate the market with all the varieties of options available from one fragrance. But let me know your thoughts on these fragrances from Reservation Fragrances. Does the concept sound great to you? Do any of the fragrances sound great to you? Do add a comment below, and thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for another video soon. Bye-bye.